Welcome, everyone. Today, you're not just listening to another book summary, you're about to open a door that very few people ever dare to open. It's the door to how humans really behave, not how they pretend, not how they act online, but how they truly think, feel, and react inside. This topic matters because it changes the way you see the world, your relationships, and even yourself. When you understand human nature, you stop being fooled by appearances. This isn't a motivational story. It's raw, uncomfortable, but life-changing. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. That's how powerful this lesson is. This book has sold millions worldwide. CEOs, psychologists, leaders, creators, even spies read it because it exposes the single force that shapes everything in life: human nature. Why do people betray you even after you help them? Why do you fall for the wrong person again and again? Why do you ruin your own success when things are going well? This book answers all that, clearly, directly, and painfully accurately. And here's a warning: once you understand these laws, you'll see through people and stop being manipulated. You'll stop begging for love. You'll stop trusting the wrong ones. You'll finally understand why the world works the way it does, and how to protect yourself and win in it. If you want emotional strength, mental clarity, and unshakable wisdom, stay with me till the end, because today, you're not just learning, you're waking up. This lesson also helps your English. You'll hear simple, emotional sentences and real stories that build your vocabulary and understanding naturally. You'll improve your grammar, listening, and comprehension while learning deep truths about life. It's not just language practice, it's mindset training through English. Let's begin. Law 1, the law of irrationality. People are not logical, they are emotional. We all like to think we make smart choices, that we're calm, balanced, and mature. But we're not. We're driven by fear, jealousy, ego, anger, and desire. Emotions guide us more than reason ever does. Have you ever bought something expensive just to feel better? Or to show others you're doing well? That's not logic, that's emotion. Or maybe you sent a text out of anger, then regretted it later. You stayed in a bad relationship, not because it was healthy, but because you feared being alone. That's irrationality, and it happens every day. The problem is, we don't even realize it. We justify our actions. We tell ourselves, it was the right thing. But here's the truth. People don't see the world as it is. They see it as they feel it. Their emotions filter every thought and action. For example, if someone feels insecure, they may see your confidence as arrogance. If someone feels angry inside, they'll find a reason to attack you even if you did nothing. So how do we fix this? You must first see your own emotions clearly. Learn to pause before reacting. Ask yourself, am I reacting to reality or to my fear and ego? Let's say your friend doesn't reply to your message for 2 days. You start feeling ignored, maybe rejected. But what if they were just busy or struggling silently? Instead of reacting, breathe, wait, respond wisely. Emotional control is true strength. The most powerful people aren't those who control others. They control themselves. They think before speaking. They choose peace before pride. Because if you can't control your emotions, someone else will. They'll use your anger to make you weak. They'll use your fear to make you obey. In daily life, emotional control is everything. At work, in relationships, in learning. When you can stay calm under pressure, you win silently. Let's practice this idea in simple English. When you feel angry, say in your mind, pause, breathe, think. Then choose a smarter action. When you feel jealous, say, this emotion is not me, I can learn from it. Every time you do this, your emotional intelligence grows. And that's the real power this law teaches. You can't stop emotions, but you can understand them. You can guide them, not let them guide you. In English, we often say, calm mind, clear voice. When you're calm, your English flows better, your ideas come faster, your confidence rises naturally. So this law isn't only about psychology, it's about your life, your language, and your growth. Remember, people act emotionally, but those who learn to rise above emotion, they become leaders. They stay wise when others lose control. You can start now. The next time emotion rises, don't fight it. Just notice it. Awareness is the first step to mastery, because once you see through your emotions, you stop being controlled by them and start mastering the way you think, speak, and live. That's the first law. Now, let's move to the second. Law 2, the law of narcissism. Everyone is self-focused. The secret is learning empathy, the power to see beyond yourself and understand others deeply. Most people think narcissism means showing off, needing attention, or posting selfies. But that's only the extreme side. The truth is, everyone has a little of it. From childhood, we are trained to think about our needs, our dreams, our problems, even when we listen to others. Our mind often says, when is it my turn to speak? This is everyday narcissism, quiet but dangerous. When two self-centered people talk, no one listens. Everyone waits to speak. Everyone wants to win. That's why relationships fail, why friends drift apart, why people feel unseen. Everyone is busy proving their value instead of truly connecting. So how do we escape this? By developing empathy, not fake politeness, but real understanding. Empathy is not weakness. It's a superpower. It means asking, what is this person really feeling right now? Why are they acting this way? What pain are they hiding? Let's take a real-life example. Someone shouts at you in public. Your instinct is to defend yourself, to shout back. But empathy allows you to pause and think. Maybe they're not angry at you. Maybe they're angry at their own life. Maybe they've been carrying pain for years. This doesn't mean you allow disrespect. It means you choose understanding over reaction. You protect your peace without losing your strength. Because when you can stay calm while others lose control, you become powerful in silence. You influence instead of fight. You lead instead of blame. In a world full of noise, where everyone says, look at me, be the one who truly sees others. When you make people feel seen, you win hearts. No degree, no fame, no money can buy that power. And here's how you can practice empathy in English. Next time someone complains, don't jump to answer. Say, I understand, that sounds hard. Then listen. When someone shares their success, don't compare. Say, I'm happy for you. Feel the sincerity in your words. That's emotional intelligence in action. Empathy makes communication flow. It improves your listening skills, your tone, and your natural rhythm in English conversations. It helps you connect deeply, not just speak fluently, because language without empathy is noise, but language with heart becomes music. Now let's continue. Law 3, the law of role-playing. Everyone wears a mask. People pretend more than you think. From childhood, we're told to smile even when sad, to act confident even when afraid. Society rewards performance, not honesty. That's why many people go through life acting, at work, at home, even with friends, in public. Someone may seem kind and humble, but behind closed doors, they're different. They might be angry, insecure, or jealous. What you see is not always the truth. Someone may act like the perfect partner, but inside they carry fear or resentment. That's the law of masks. People hide who they really are. They smile when they dislike you. They praise you while secretly envying you. They agree to help but plan to benefit themselves later. So how do you protect yourself? By observing patterns, not performances. Watch how someone treats people who can't offer them anything. Watch how they act when tired, stressed, or angry. Do their words match their actions? That's where truth lives. For example, a coworker might praise you in front of others, but when you succeed, they go silent. No smile, no support. That's a mask slipping. Or a person who always says, "I'm honest," but constantly blames others, avoids responsibility, or exaggerates stories. That's not honesty. That's acting. You must become a quiet observer. Don't rush to trust. Study behavior. Study energy. The goal isn't to suspect everyone. It's to see clearly before you give trust, love, or time. Most pain in life doesn't come because people hurt us. It comes because we believed their performance, not their pattern. When you learn to see behind the mask, you don't become cold, you become wise, and wisdom gives you peace. You stop chasing fake connections. You invest only in what's real. In English, we often say, actions speak louder than words. Remember that. It's not just an idiom, it's survival advice. Now let's move on to something even deeper. Law 4. The law of compulsive behavior. People repeat the same mistakes again and again, often without knowing why. Look closely. Many live in loops. They date the same type of toxic person. They quit when life gets hard. They react with anger again and again. Why? Because of hidden patterns, emotional programs written in childhood that they never learned to rewrite. For example, someone ignored as a child might overwork as an adult to feel worthy. They chase validation, not happiness. Or someone betrayed once may fear closeness forever. They sabotage good relationships, not because others are bad, but because fear feels safer than hope. Kikyo, that's compulsion, repeating pain because it's familiar. To break it, you must observe yourself without judgment. Ask, what keeps showing up in my life? What do I repeat even when I know it hurts me? Then go deeper. What am I avoiding feeling? Because avoiding pain keeps it alive. When you finally see your pattern, you gain power. You can choose new actions. You can create a new story. And when you break a toxic cycle, you don't just heal yourself, you heal your future. It's the same with language learning. Many students repeat, "I can't speak fast. I'm not good enough." But that's just a loop of fear. Break it. Start speaking, even imperfectly. Confidence grows from repetition, not perfection. The goal isn't to be flawless. The goal is to be aware, consistent, and brave enough to continue. Awareness turns pain into progress. Once you understand that, you'll stop fighting your emotions and start using them to grow. That's how you escape your old patterns and start becoming who you were meant to be. Law 5. The law of covetousness. People don't want what they need. They want what they can't have. Think about it. We often chase what's out of reach. Someone unavailable. A job that seems impossible. A dream that looks shiny from far away. Desire isn't logical. It's emotional. It's built on mystery, distance, and imagination. We crave what we can't easily touch. For example, when a product says limited edition, people buy it faster. When someone pulls away, we suddenly want them more. Or maybe you've seen this. Someone chases love from a person who doesn't care, while ignoring the one who truly does. That's not passion, that's illusion. Once they finally get what they wanted, they lose interest, because it was never about the thing. It was about the chase. The human mind loves fantasy more than reality. We want the feeling of desire, not always the thing we desire. You can see this in marketing, dating, or careers. It's everywhere. The mystery keeps people addicted. So how do you use this law wisely? Don't be too available. Protect your time and energy. When you give too much too fast, people stop valuing it. Create space. Let others wonder. Let them wait, not to play games, but to keep balance. And don't fall into the same trap yourself. Ask, am I chasing this because it's right for me or because I can't have it yet? True maturity means choosing what's healthy, not just exciting, loving peace, not chaos, building something real, not fake. When you live this way, you stop wasting years chasing illusions. You start building what nourishes your soul. Law 6, the law of short-sightedness. Most people think only about now, and that's why they ruin their future. Look around. Everyone wants things fast. Success, money, love, comfort. But quick comfort often becomes long-term pain. People buy things they don't need, eat things that hurt them, quit dreams too early. They live for now and forget tomorrow. Example, someone spends all their salary on a new phone, then struggles to pay rent. They didn't plan. They just wanted that short spark of pleasure. Or someone cheats because they feel bored. It feels exciting for a moment. Then comes guilt, loss, regret. Short-sightedness is everywhere. It's why people scroll late at night even when they know they'll feel tired tomorrow. We say, live in the moment. But that advice is dangerous if it means ignoring consequences. Real growth means thinking long-term. Ask yourself, how will this decision affect me next year? Will I be proud of this choice later? In English learning, the same rule applies. Don't look for quick fixes. Practice a little each day. The reward will come, slowly but surely. The world celebrates speed, but wisdom grows in patience. The strongest people can wait. They can delay pleasure for purpose. Anyone can enjoy the moment, but only the wise can build a future. And those who do, they become unshakable. Law 7, the law of defensiveness. People resist change, even when it's good for them. Have you ever given honest advice, and the person got angry? You wanted to help, but they shut you out. That's defensiveness. Humans fear change because it feels like danger. Change means admitting, I was wrong. It means stepping into the unknown. Our ego hates that. It would rather protect the pain we know than face the peace we don't understand. Think of a negative person. You say, try focusing on solutions. They reply, so now I'm the problem? They defend their misery because it's familiar. Or think of a worker who refuses to learn new skills. The world is changing fast, but they say, I've always done it this way. They're not lazy, they're scared. Fear of failure keeps people small. Fear of learning something new keeps them trapped. Ask yourself, do I do this too? Do I resist ideas that challenge me? Do I feel angry when someone corrects me? If yes, that's not weakness. That's being human. But awareness changes everything. The strongest people are not the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who can face truth calmly and say, maybe this is my chance to grow. Growth is uncomfortable, but staying the same is painful. When you stop defending your limits, you start discovering your power. In English learning, it's the same. When a teacher corrects you, don't get upset. Say, thank you, that helps me grow. That small shift builds unstoppable learners. Dropping your defenses doesn't make you weaker, it makes you wiser. Law 8, the law of self-sabotage. Sometimes, the person blocking your success is you. People often destroy their progress unconsciously. They start strong, then stop. They do well, then suddenly give up. A person eats healthy for a week, then binges. Another finds peace, then calls their toxic ex. Another starts a business, then says, I don't feel motivated anymore. Why? Because deep down, they don't believe they deserve success. They're more comfortable with struggle. It's the mind replaying an old story. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I don't deserve happiness. Let's look at an example. A man grew up unseen by his parents. Now he works hard for recognition, but each time success comes, he fears losing it. So he delays tasks, avoids pressure, and slowly returns to failure, proving his old story right. That's self-sabotage, and it's everywhere. People call it bad luck or not ready, but it's really fear of power. To change this, you must change the story inside your head. Ask, who told me I'm not enough? And why do I still believe them? Repeat, I am not my past. I am not my pain. I am not my fear. Start small. Keep your promises. Forgive your old self. Build trust with your new one. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stop standing in your own way. That's where real transformation begins. Law 9, the law of repression. Whatever you hide will eventually control you. Many people walk through life carrying unspoken pain. They say, I'm fine. But inside, they're not. They bury anger, sadness, and shame so deep that it turns into something else. Repressed emotions don't disappear. They change shape. They become anxiety, mood swings, or sudden explosions over small issues. You've probably seen this before. Someone gets mad about something tiny, but deep down, it's not about that at all. It's about years of unhealed pain. For example, a woman abandoned by her father never talks about it. She says she's strong, but later, she can't trust men. Every time someone gets close, she pulls away. That's repression. Or a man bullied as a boy grows up needing to win everything. He competes, dominates, and hates losing, not because he's confident, but because he's still trying to silence that childhood shame. This law is clear. Whatever you avoid feeling will eventually rule your life. It will show up in your health, relationships, and words. So how do you heal it? By facing it without shame. Sit with your feelings, write them down, talk to someone safe. Say, yes, this hurt me, but I'm ready to release it. Healing doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful. The strongest people are not those who never cry, but those who cried and stood up again. Because when you face your pain, it loses its control over you. That's true emotional freedom. Law 10, the law of envy. People envy in silence, and it can destroy trust faster than words. Not everyone will celebrate your success. Some will smile but secretly hope you fail. And the hardest part, it's often people close to you, a friend, a cousin, even someone you helped. Envy hides behind polite smiles and kind words. It rarely says, I'm jealous. It simply acts. Someone grows distant, cold, or suddenly critical. They say things like, you're lucky, or must be nice. That's not support. It's envy wearing a friendly face. Let's say you start improving your life. You wake early, study, work hard. Suddenly, your old friends call you boring or too serious. It's not because you changed. It's because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. So what do? First, don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You're not responsible for how your success makes them feel. Second, watch energy, not words. Real supporters celebrate you genuinely. The fake ones compete quietly. And third, when you feel envy yourself, transform it. Don't deny it. Ask, what can I learn from this person? How can I use their success to inspire my own? When envy becomes admiration, it becomes growth. When envy becomes bitterness, it becomes poison. Choose growth. Law 11, the law of grandiosity. Success can blind you. Stay grounded. This law warns achievers, dreamers, and doers. When things go well, pride can slowly turn into arrogance. You start believing everything you do will work. You stop listening, stop learning, stop being humble. And that's the beginning of the fall. Example, a founder builds a big company. Fame comes, Money follows. Then he stops accepting feedback. He thinks he's always right and loses everything. Or an artist gets popular. They stop practicing. They chase attention, not excellence. They forget what made them great. That's grandiosity, success turning into blindness. The cure is humility. Remind yourself daily, I'm still learning. Surround yourself with people who tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. Confidence says, I believe in myself. Arrogance says, I can never be wrong. Know the difference. The higher you rise, the deeper your roots must go. Stay humble, stay grounded, stay grateful. That's how true greatness lasts. Law 12. The law of gender rigidity. People are trapped by ideas of what men and women should be from birth. Boys are told, be tough, don't cry. Girls are told, be sweet, don't speak too loud. These messages sound small, but they build invisible cages. A boy learns to hide his emotions and grows into a man who can't express love. A girl learns to stay quiet and becomes a woman afraid to speak truth. This law teaches that masculine and feminine are energies, not limits. Everyone has both. Masculine energy is strength, action, direction. Feminine energy is intuition, care, and empathy. You need both to live fully. But society tells you to suppress one side. A man who shows emotion is called weak. A woman who shows strength is called too much. It's time to break that. If you're strong, learn to be soft. If you're gentle, learn to be bold. Balance makes you whole. Don't ask, what am I allowed to be? Ask, what part of me have I ignored? When you embrace both sides, you don't lose yourself. You finally meet yourself. Law 13. The law of aimlessness. Without clear purpose. People wander through life. Many are busy, but lost. They scroll, rush, and chase goals that mean nothing. They confuse movement with progress. They study what others expect, work jobs they hate, buy things they don't need, and then wonder why they feel empty. Example, a man climbs the corporate ladder for 10 years, gets a house, a car, respect. But one night, he sits alone and thinks, I don't even like this life. Or a woman jumps from job to job, calling it freedom. But she's really running from commitment, from purpose. Purpose doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs direction. Ask, what would I still do if no one clapped for me? What breaks my heart? And what am I willing to fix? Purpose doesn't scream, it whispers. You must get quiet to hear it. With purpose, even pain has meaning. Without it, even success feels empty. Law 14. The law of conformity. Most people follow the crowd. Even when the crowd is wrong, humans want to belong. It's natural. We crave acceptance, community, approval, but this desire can make us lose ourselves. Many people would rather be wrong with everyone than right alone. That's why truth often feels lonely. You see it everywhere. Someone changes how they dress, not because they like it, but because it's trending. Someone stays silent during injustice because everyone else is quiet. Or imagine a teenager who joins a group that mocks others just to fit in. At first, he feels uncomfortable, but slowly, he joins in, not from belief, but from fear of rejection. Years later, he looks in the mirror and doesn't recognize who he's become. That's conformity. Or a woman dreams of starting a small bakery, but her family says, that's risky. Get a stable job. She listens. She kills her dream quietly, just to feel accepted. The cost of conformity is identity. When you live for approval, you stop living for truth. So how do you break free? First, build self-respect. Remind yourself that your voice matters, even if it shakes. Second, spend time alone. That's where independence grows. Learn to make decisions without waiting for validation. Third, stop asking, what will they think? Start asking, will I respect myself after this? Greatness never comes from following. It comes from standing out with courage. The crowd is loud, but your soul is wiser. Follow that. Law 15, the law of fickleness. People change emotions quickly. Their loyalty fades. Don't depend on praise or approval. At some point, you'll feel this truth. Someone praises you today and ignores you tomorrow. Someone supports you when you're weak, but disappears when you're strong. You'll wonder why. You'll question yourself. But here's the truth. People act from their current feelings, not their memories. Right now, they feel grateful, so they're loyal. Later, they feel jealous, so they distance themselves. You might help a friend at their lowest. They swear they'll never forget. But once their life improves, they fade away. They didn't change because they're evil. They changed because emotion changed. Or imagine you're successful. People cheer. But when you fail or pause, the same people go silent. They didn't love you. They loved what you gave them. Attention, inspiration, benefit. So what can you do? Stop depending on praise to feel valuable. Stop using attention as proof of worth. When people praise you, appreciate it, but don't attach to it. When they criticize you, listen, but don't break. Real strength comes from within. You decide your value. Because the ones who are real won't come and go with seasons. And the ones who do, they free space for better people to arrive. That's not your loss. That's your peace. Law 16, the law of aggression. Not all enemies shout. Some smile while planning your fall. Aggression is often silent, hidden behind politeness. It's the coworker who forgets to include you in an email. The friend who compliments you but sounds cold. It's the quiet competition, the subtle insult, the fake support. Why? Because many people don't know how to express anger directly, so they bury it. It leaks out in small ways. Example, you share good news, a promotion, a success. Someone smiles and says, "Wow, that's nice." But you feel their tone. It's cold, not kind. Later, you hear they've been gossiping about you. That's passive aggression. Or a colleague keeps accidentally excluding you. It's not forgetfulness. It's resentment disguised as carelessness. So how do you respond? First, learn to read tone and patterns. Don't just listen to words. Feel the energy behind them. Second, when you sense tension, respond with calm clarity. Say, "I feel something's off. Can we talk honestly?" You'll be surprised how silence breaks when truth enters the room. And third, protect your peace. You don't need to fight every hidden enemy. Just set boundaries and move with awareness. True power isn't shouting louder, staying centered while others lose control. Law 17, the law of generational myopia. People are shaped by their era, and most never realize it. You are not only your family or choices, you are also a product of your time, your generation's values, fears, and culture. Someone born during peace may value comfort. Someone raised during war may value safety. Both think they're right, but they're just shaped differently. Now, imagine these two people working together. One wants quick success. The other wants slow security. They clash. Not because one is bad, but because time trained them differently. That's generational myopia, believing your era's thinking is absolute truth. Example, a young person today chases followers and fame online. They think visibility equals worth, but that's just this generation's illusion. When social media fades, so does their identity. Their beliefs collapse because they were never their own. To escape this blindness, ask, are my values truly mine, or borrowed from my generation? If I lived 100 years ago, would I still believe this? Be aware of trends that distract you from timeless values. Wisdom, discipline, patience, faith. Your generation is like a wave. You can ride it or drown in it. The wise rise above it. Law 18, the law of death denial. Most people live as if they'll never die. That's why they waste their lives. Every morning, you wake up, scroll your phone, rush through the day, stress about small things, as if time is infinite. But it's not. Every heartbeat brings you closer to your final one. You just don't know when that moment will come. Maybe in 50 years, maybe in 10, maybe tomorrow. No one knows. Yet most people live like they have forever. They delay dreams. They hold grudges. They wait for the right time. But that right time never comes. This law reveals the greatest truth. We deny death, and because of that, we waste life. Imagine a man who works endlessly. He builds wealth, status, recognition, but he sacrifices everything: his health, family, peace. Then, one day, the doctor says, "It's terminal." He sits there, whispering, "I thought I had more time." Or a woman with great talent keeps saying, "Maybe next year." She dreams, but never starts. Years pass. The opportunity fades. She didn't run out of talent, she ran out of time. We fear death because we haven't truly lived. We haven't spoken our truth, loved deeply, or used our gifts fully. So how do we change this? By remembering death daily, not with fear, but with awareness. When you accept that life ends, you begin to live it. You start saying, "I love you" more. You forgive faster. You create without waiting. You stop wasting energy on drama. You stop staying where your soul feels small. You stop waiting for permission to be yourself. Death is not the enemy. Living half alive is. Each time you remember death, you awaken life. You focus on what truly matters. You act today instead of waiting for someday. When you live like this, you stop fearing the end because you know you didn't just exist. You truly lived. And that's the ultimate power. You've now reached the final truth of this journey. This wasn't just a book summary, it was a mirror. You've learned that people lie behind smiles, that success can blind you, that envy poisons love, and that unspoken pain controls behavior. You've seen how people repeat patterns, follow crowds, and live asleep. But you've also seen how awareness wakes you up. Now, you're no longer like most people. You've looked through the masks. You've faced yourself. The world isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to wake up to your power, your emotions, your voice, and your purpose. Wake up to the truth that time is short, but meaning is eternal. Wake up to the reality that your life is yours, not anyone else's. You've faced the truth about human nature. Now face your own. This is not the end. It's your beginning. If this message touched you, if it made you rethink your life, your habits, or your dreams, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Soulful English, not just for learning, but for awakening, for truth, growth, and transformation through every word. Here, books don't just teach, they open eyes. Words don't just speak, they awaken. So, take a breath, stand taller, speak louder, live deeper, because this is your moment, the one most people never take. You only get one life. Don't waste it being someone else. Be the real you before it's too late. Thank you for listening. Now go live the life most people never will.